on before.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not new. It's
It's not new to me. So,
Third time's a charm.
but it's always hard, like, not finishing the school year. So, like, now this is like 2 years in a row that I haven't finished the school year.
In a row?
Yeah, because last year we had COVID, so we didn't really finish together. And then this year, so that's kind of sad for me, but it's all right.
What do you appreciate?
I'll still see you in the halls next year, right?
What do you mean?
All right, so last unit that we're going to do today, or the last unit that we're going to do this year is data analysis.
I've seen a test.
Okay. What?
Are we gonna take a test on it?
No, you're going to do a project.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to do an in-class project. Okay. And that project will start on Wednesday next week? Wednesday or Thursday? You can do everything in class. You don't have to do anything outside of class. I've given you enough time in class to do it in class, so you do not have to do it. So, measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode, range. How many of you have heard those terms before today? Okay, so measures of center are taking the data points and finding information about those data points and putting them together. So your learning target for today, I can calculate the measures of center or central tendency, or we also call those the measures of center. So our vocabulary terms, mean. The mean of the data set is the sum of the values divided by the number of data points. Okay? So does anyone know another word for mean?
I was gonna say like it was basically the average.
It's the average, very good. So mean, another word for mean is the average. Okay, you add up all the numbers and divide by the number of data points. Okay, that's how we used to calculate your grades. Now we do 90-10, so it's a little bit different. The median is the exact middle value when the values are written in numerical order. Okay, so when we line all the numbers up, least to greatest, that's our exact middle value is the median. The mode of the data set is the value that occurs the most often. A data set can have no mode, one mode, or more than one mode. So mode, most. Median, middle, mode, most. And then the range of the data set is the difference in the greatest value and the least value. So to calculate that, we subtract greatest minus least. And that gives us the range of the data set. Okay, so we're going to find mean, median, mode, and range today. So the first data set we're going to look at is the number of trails at 10 Colorado ski resorts. And we need to find the mean of the data. So at these 10 Colorado ski resorts, there's 76, 61, 112, 146, 65, 139, 43, 125, 85, and 28. So that's the number of trails that are at these ski resorts. Ski resorts in Colorado are huge. Okay? Like, it's huge. Now, are they running all 146 trails at once? No. Okay? They don't. They open up certain trails depending on where the snow is and the ice and stuff like that. But they have them there so they can rotate them so they don't get overused and the mountain doesn't get ruined. So if we want to find the mean of the data set, we're going to add all of these numbers up and divide by 10 because that's the number of data points there are. So we're going to take 76 plus 61 plus 112 plus 146 plus 65 plus 139 plus 43 plus 125 plus 85 plus 28. Yes, dear? Or can you just wait because everyone's... So what you could actually do is in your calculator, you can do this all at once. But what you would need to do if you're going to do it all at once is you need to put the sum in parentheses and then divide by 10. If you don't put the sum in parentheses, it's going to do just 28 divided by 10 and add the rest of them to it because of order of operations. So, order of operations, grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction, we want to do the parentheses first. So we get the sum, and then we divide by 10. Okay? So like Mason, but I would do, if I were you, I'd do it, I'd add them all together. And then divide by 10 because sometimes that calculator with the parentheses, it's fun. Okay, good. Oh, where's my answer? Are you ready? Okay, Craig, what'd you get?
I got 88.
Okay, very good. How many of you got 88? Oh, this is 146. Okay, so that means that the Colorado ski resorts have a mean of 88. And we could say 88 trails. Okay, so how did we do that? We added the values together. Then divided by the number of data points. Okay, so again, we added the numbers together, and then we divided by the number of data points. I've had everything ready for weeks, just in case I went to labor at any time. So I've got all these answer keys, all this stuff, ready to go. Just in case. Can't believe I made it this long. I'm shocked. All right, the next one, find the median. Okay, median is the exact middle number. Okay? So what we do to calculate the median is we line up our values from least to greatest, and then we find that exact middle number. So in this data set, these are the number of ski lifts the 10 Colorado ski resorts have. 8, 5, 4, 13, 2, 25, 7, 23, 14, and 5. Are these numbers lined up from least to greatest?
No.
No, so we need to take care when we're doing this, we need to find our lowest number and start there. So our lowest number is?
4.
Okay. Now I cross them off as I go, so I know exactly what numbers I've used.
Oh, wait, it's 2.
Oh, is it 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Start over. Okay, 2's next. So 2's first. Then we go to 4.
5.
Now we've got 2 5s. Okay, we've got a 5 here and a 5 here. How many times do we need to write 5 down? Twice. Okay, because there are 2 5s, there are 2 data points. We need to make sure we write those down. Both of them. 7, 8, 13, 14, 23, and 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? I count how many I have, and I double check myself. So I know that I have each one of my values represented. So now we need to find the exact middle. Okay? And when we find the exact middle, we cross off 1 low, 1 high. 1 low, 1 high, 1 low, 1 high, 1 low, 1 high, until we get to the middle. Okay? So low and high. Low, high. Low, high. Low, high. If we go low, high again, we have nothing left over, correct? So that means my median is between 7 and 8. Okay? So what's the exact middle number between 7 and 8? 7 and a half. Okay? Now, okay, it's all right. So, what if my exact middle number was between 114 and 176? What would you do? Okay, well that would be the difference. So if we have the exact middle number, and if we don't know it, good morning, Mrs. Miller.
Good morning.
Oh. Oh no, these are my favorite.
You,
Thank
Suzanne,
you.
welcome.
Cool Ranch Doritos.
One right there.
My fave. All right. So if you don't know the exact middle number, you actually find the average between the two. Okay? So what we would do is we would take 7 plus 8 and then divide it by 2. So if you didn't know the exact middle number, this is what you would do. Okay? So you'd find the average of the two. That would be your exact middle. 7 plus 8 is 15. And then 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So our median is 7.5 ski lifts. Can we have a half of a ski lift? No. So if we were actually like collecting the data and talking about the data, we would say the median is between 7 and 8 ski lifts, right? Sometimes you're going to have an exact middle number. Sometimes you're not. When you have an even number, sorry, Shane. When you have an even number, you're not going to have an exact middle number in your data set, and that's when you're going to have to either split the difference of the two or add and then divide by 2. Okay? But if I have 13 data points, when I cross off high, low, high, low, high, low, I'm going to have 6 down here and 6 up here, and an exact one in the middle. Okay? So when you have an even number, you'll have to actually calculate the median. When you have an odd number, it will be part of your data set. What's wrong, Zach?
So what happens if, like, the number is, like, say 7.6? Would you want us to round up, or would we just say 7.6?
Just say 7 and 6 cents. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, mode. It's on the back side. Yep. So the measure of center we're going to use? Oh, God. All right, the next measure of center we're going to use. Do you think it was it? Do you think it was that was
Yeah,
it?
I was like, whoa. That's amazing.
All right. Mode means most. What do we see the most in our data set? Okay. So it might be a number. It might just be, like here, we've got when the ski resort's open. Okay. Mode means the most often. What we see happening the most. There could be no mode. There could be one mode, or there can be more than one mode. Okay? Now, when I say there can be more than one mode, we could have the number 7 3 times and the number 10 3 times in our data set. So our mode would be 7 and 10. Again, we're looking for the most. So this is when the Colorado Ski Resort's open. November, November, December, November, October, October, December, November, November, December. So our data points are October, November, and December. So how many times do we see October in our list? Twice. How many times do we see November in our list? And then how many times do we see December in our list? 3. So what's our mode? Which one is most frequent? November. Very good. So that tells us that more than likely a Colorado ski resort is going to open in November than any other month. Okay. All right, and the last one, range. So range of the data set is when we take the greatest value and we subtract the least value of the data set. And that gives us our range. So this is the average annual snowfall amount in inches for 10 Colorado ski resorts. So we're going to find the range in the data. What's the highest amount of snow that falls at one of these ski resorts? Shane?
410.
Very good, 410. What is the least amount of snow that falls at one of these ski resorts?
200.
So what's our range in snowfall of these 10 Colorado ski resorts? Very good. Okay. So the range in snowfall is 210 inches. Okay, so last one I want you to do, and you're going to do this one on your own. The weight of 6 dogs at a dog show are 32 pounds, 84 pounds, 38 pounds, 32 pounds, 42 pounds, and 60 pounds. I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data. us to calculate each one of those. So mean, calculate by adding all the adding all the values and then dividing by the number of data points. Median, line them up least to greatest and find the exact middle number. Mode, find the one that's the most frequent. And then the range, subtract greatest value from least value. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so 32 plus 84 plus 38 plus 32. What? I said 32, 84, 38, 32, 42, and 60, right?
And then,
Okay, so I got 288. And then how many data points are there?
6.
Okay?
Oh.
Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I did 10 because I.
Because the other ones, yeah. So then the median. I got 40. Okay. So the median I lined up 32, 32, 38, 42, 60, and 84. And then we went low, high, low, high. If I went any more, I couldn't, right? I have nothing left. So that means I need my exact middle number between 38 and 42. So 38 plus 42 divided by 2, and that's how I got 40. Our mode. Okay, which number came up most frequent? 32. There were two 32s. So that means our mode is 32. And then our range. Okay. Our highest is 84. Our lowest is 32. Okay. 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 3 is 5. So our range is 52 pounds. Now the last question asked, which measure is the best representation of the data? Is it your mean, median, mode, or range? Okay. So when there is an outlier, that means a number that is way far out from the other values. Like 84, right? 84 is way out there. 84 is 24 pounds higher than the next closest number. So when there is an outlier like 84, your median is your best representation of the data. Okay, so your median is the best representation of the data because it takes into account, there's really no math involved, right? It's only values from least to greatest, and you're finding the exact middle number of your data. So our median is the best representation of the data for this data set. If there's no outlier, then your mean is the best representation. But when you think about grades, okay, should we be using the average?
Yeah.
Is the average really the best representation of your knowledge?
No.
What if you get 5 100s and then you get a 20? Because you didn't study, you didn't know it was coming, you didn't get it done, whatever it was. Would that be the best representation of your knowledge? Interesting, right? Okay. So when there's an outlier, that's why the median's the best. Because if you get 5 100s and then 120, you're still, you still are, pretty smart, right? Not even that you're pretty smart, but you mainly understand the content. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting argument to have when we talk about grades.